Hello everyone, today's video is all about Alien by Thierry Mugler. They are now just known as Mugler, and I'm going to show you my very small collection, and I'm just going to talk very briefly about them. So first of all, the original Alien, I don't have the Eau de Parfum spray. I have a solid perfume. This was gifted to me by my lovely friend Nafia when we met in London a long time ago now, but thank you Nafia if you happen to watch this. And I actually find the original Eau de Parfum very, very strong, to the point that it's too strong for me to wear. Even just one spray, there's something about that composition that is so overwhelming to me that I just can't really wear it, not comfortably. I feel like the fragrance wears me. However, this solid is the perfect answer to that problem, and I've got someone here, and you get the beautiful scent of Alien without a massive projection. This would be the answer to your prayers. If you like the fragrance but you just wish you had a subtle version, then I really recommend the solid perfume. I've got the notes here. Everything is from Fragrantica in my notes, because these fragrances that I'm going to talk about, the next ones, are all discontinued. But this one on Fragrantica, Alien, was released in 2005. It was by Dominique Ropion, and the only notes listed are jasmine, woody notes, and amber. Now, there's certainly going to be a lot more in here than just those notes. But it's such an unusual fragrance, it's really actually quite difficult to describe. I would say that the jasmine is the biggest note, but it doesn't smell like a natural jasmine. It doesn't smell like you're walking past a flowering jasmine bush and catching whiffs. It's just not that sort of jasmine from nature. It's very much, I mean, it's called Alien, and it's almost like jasmine was abducted by aliens and perhaps interfered with and bred with another crazy plant species to create this jasmine that's in here. So it's a wild, loud, floral, very, very heady. There's quite a bit of sweetness, but it doesn't seem to come from a vanilla or anything like that. I think it comes from the jasmine. It doesn't feel like an added sugary type note or caramel or anything like that either. There is amber in here, which is a mixture of sweet resins and vanilla. So it may well be that that helps this be quite a rich and sweet fragrance. It's very heady, very loud, and a bit sweet. It's kind of mind-blowing. Very well-known fragrance. Most people can recognize it. And for me, I like to have this, and I like to sometimes layer this underneath other things, but I generally don't wear or wouldn't wear the original Eau de Parfum. So I'm going to show you the ones that I do have now, starting with this one here, and this is Alien Essence de Parfum. This one you can still find relatively easy if you look around. You might find it on some discount sites, but you will certainly find it on second-hand sites. So Alien Essence came out in 2012, and the notes are jasmine, cashmere wood, orris, vanilla, white amber, myrrh, and incense. I've got that on this strip here. And this is, it's a very heady still. So you have this heady jasmine. I believe it's the same jasmine as from the original. However, this is much more woody, much more incensey, and much more resinous and sweeter and richer. This isn't quite the beast that the original Alien is, but it's very strong and long lasting. For me, I generally stick to 3 sprays or maybe even less. It's extremely rich. It's like the gourmand take on Alien. It's a woody and spicy kind of vanilla, so it doesn't smell like cupcake frosting. It's not a girly, typical sort of sweet vanilla. It's a much more adult vanilla in here. It is really, really beautiful. It gently changes on the skin. It lasts for ages. It's enticing. It's interesting. It's different. I absolutely love Alien Essence Absolue. So, it also smells a bit like marzipan to me. It's got quite a nice almondy-like nuance to it. The next one we're talking about is the Taste of Fragrance. Came out in 2011, so it actually came out before Essence Absolute. So Taste of Fragrance, this took me a long time to track down, and I don't recommend you go hunting for it. It could be Mission Impossible. Although I did see a spate recently of, I think it came up on a site over the water in America or Canada, and quite a few people managed to nab bottles. So well done you if you did manage to catch a bottle, but it took me years of searching to get this Taste of Fragrance. It's also called Alien Gout De Parfum, which is the French version of Taste of Fragrance. So this one has notes of caramel, jasmine, cashmere wood and amber. And I have it sprayed here. And honestly, there's not that much difference between the Essence Absolute and the Taste of Fragrance. The differences are so subtle, I really don't know if I can explain or even if I get any difference. If anything, Alien Essence Absolute might be more on the marzipan-y side. Like I said, there's a marzipan, a smooth kind of marzipan feel to it. And this Taste of Fragrance, not so much. I don't really necessarily get caramel from it. It's supposed to be a salted caramel note. I would honestly say that there is a very, very tiny, subtle difference. And if you like one, there's a 100% chance you'll like the other. So just go for the one you can actually get hold of, which is probably going to be Essence Absolute. And don't really spend your time, your money trying to track down Taste of Fragrance, unless you're someone who likes to collect and you just want to collect them for the sake of collecting them. But really, it may well be Taste of Fragrance has a subtle fruity nuance. There's no fruit notes listed. The jasmine's it's almost like the jasmine might be a little fruity. If there was a strawberry note listed, I could understand it. It's like if there was a tiny touch of strawberry mixed in or something like that. But really, there's not much in it. So the next one, and actually the last one, is the Liquer De Parfum, which is this one. So you can see that the glass is gold, although you can actually see through it. It's not completely solid. So this is Liquer De Parfum. The point being, the liqueur is supposed to be a rum note, although on Fragrantica there's no rum note listed. Liquer De Parfum came out in 2013. Has jasmine, sambac, floral notes, almond, cashmere, amber and woody notes. So this one I have here, and this is slightly more different. I mean, the differences are a little more detectable between this and these other two. This is slightly less gourmandy, a little more perfumey. Maybe a little closer to the original Alien. They all really smell like Alien. They all have that Alien amber woodsy jasmine. They all have that. Ooh.
Wendy, I'm home.
Sorry about that. Sam just turned up for dinner and I forgot the time, so naughty me. And actually it's another day now, so Sam turned up for dinner, we cooked dinner, had our evening. So today is another day. I've put the same jumper on to try and give you some continuity, or is it just because I'm lazy and I picked it up off the floor? I'll let you answer that in the comments below. What do you think? So also, you'll see that my hair's changed. I've put a little bit more red through it because I put some red through it yesterday or the day before, and it didn't catch all my hair, and there was still bits that were a bit yellowy, greeny coloured, which I really hated. So I put more red through it, and I've also managed to find some curl. Look at this beautiful curl. So I want all my hair to be like this, but unfortunately all of this around here is so damaged that it's just frizzy and rough. It's really terrible, so I've tied it out the way. But look at this, just look at this part of my hair and not anything else. So there's some cute curls here as well. So I've tied that bit out the way too. So my hair's a bit different, sorry about that. And we're on a different day now. But what's good about that, and I thought about just re-recording the whole thing, and then actually I've just smelt these strips. So of course these are now a day old, and the differences between the perfumes are a lot more obvious. So I think it's worth kind of telling you about how they smell now that they've really dried down. So I was talking about Liquer De Parfum, so that one is here, and I was saying that it was a bit more perfumey than the other two, less gourmand, and I have to say I agree with what I felt yesterday in that respect. This is closer to the original Alien, and I think that's because it's got quite a lot of the jasmine. I feel like this is the version that has more jasmine than the other two. Also, this is a little more on the woodsy side. And generally, it still feels like a gourmand Alien, but it's just not quite as sweet and vanillic as the other two. There's a bit of a vanilla, and it's almost like a slightly caramel feel to it. But it's just a little bit more of the original Alien thing going on in Liquer De Parfum. I'll just re-show you the bottle there. And then the first one I talked about, Essence Absolue, which is this one here. What I've noticed is on the dry down here is very much a vanilla fragrance. This is the most vanillic of all three, and probably the most simple now in its dry down, in that it's really quite a heavy vanilla, and it's a beautiful but very, very smooth vanilla. Still got a touch of woodsiness to it, but it's mostly vanilla with just a hint of that alien jasmine, that crazy jasmine, but it's very smooth and quite sweet and creamy. So that's the Essence Absolute. And then we talk about taste of fragrance, this one here, and this is almost like the bridge between the Liqueur and the Essence Absolute, in that this is more gourmand than Liqueur. You've got vanilla and caramel, but they're not really thick and heavy. And you still got the jasmine. You can smell the vanilla, it's just not as strong as in Essence Absolute. And it's stronger than the Liquer De Parfum. So I think my favourite is the taste of fragrance now, based on the dry down, because this is a more interesting than the Alien Essence Absolute, which is now very beautiful but mostly vanilla. This has components of all of the other two. Really, this is balanced. It's a bit more interesting. It's just a bit more going on, you know. Like, there's the jasmine, you can still smell it. You can still smell the amber. You can still smell the vanilla. It still smells woodsy. It's still ever so slightly caramelly. It's just a bit more interesting. A lot more going on than, say, particularly the Essence Absolute. Now, Essence Absolute is very much a vanilla fragrance. And that's all a very beautiful vanilla, without a doubt much better than a lot of modern niche vanilla centric fragrances, in my opinion. It smells expensive, it smells like proper good vanilla, if you know what I mean. But there is more to the other two. The Liqueur, bit more jasmine, not so much on the vanilla, a little bit woodsy, a bit musky as well, I guess. But yeah, the taste of fragrance is the more complex of the three. Now we're talking about the dry down, and that would be, if I had to part with two of them and keep one, I would keep taste of fragrance based on how it smells, number one, and then number two, based on the fact that it's the one that's going to be hardest to replace. Although Liqueur De Parfum is probably pretty hard to replace as well. Essence Absolue, as I said earlier, you can find it, you just have to keep your eyes and ears on the ground. No, hang on. Keep your fingers on the pulse, keep your eyes and ears open. I don't know what you put on the ground. Put whatever you want on the ground. So that is it. I just wanted to actually say, this is a really strange coincidence. Today, just now, I saw the Nosetalgic, like nostalgic, but use the word Nosetalgic. She's a really nice fragrance YouTube channel, and she's just done her Alien video, which is really coincidental. So I would urge you to go and have a look at her video. I'm going to link it below. If you're on an Alien kick, you may as well head over there and see what she has to say about her little Alien collection. But this is my little Alien collection. And before I go anywhere, I wanted to do a massive thank you to Julie of La Charisma. So Julie bought me a coffee on Ko-fi, on my Ko-fi account. She bought me a coffee, and I just want to say thank you. And I like now that I understand why your channel is called La Charisma, because it's about nail lacquers, and I never realised that. So now, because I've seen your email address, now I understand lacquer as in nail lacquer, La Charisma. So thank you to Julie, aka La Charisma, for buying me a coffee. If you want to do the same, I will pop the link below. Also, I've started doing fragrance consultations. You can actually order one on that coffee account. So there's you can press the tab for commissions, and there's a couple of options there. One of them is fragrance consultations. You could also request a video there as well if you want to, just for you. That's it then. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, you know what to do. You can click subscribe if you want as well, because I do loads and loads of perfume videos.